Let's talk about these pedals.
Yeah, you know, like with the pedals, like I always found myself using old guitars and old amps and then new pedals, because old pedals are cool, but they don't ever really work.
Yeah, they're
like,
noisy.
Yeah, the bypass is terrible, you know.
Okay, let's plug into a couple. What guitar do you want to
anything you like.
these with?
Pick one.
Okay,
so everything's off here.
Yeah,
right?
so let's kind of go through your whole signal chain. Starts with that verb, okay.
Well, that's the last thing. That's the most amazing sounding tube spring reverb unit ever made.
God.
My buddy Ebo made that. It's incredible, right?
I know Evo.
Yeah, you know Evo.
And he makes his great amps too.
Yeah, great amps. And
yeah.
So that's like the last thing in line. And man, the preamp in that thing is incredible. Even what it just does to the front end of an amp, if you turn the verb off, it's incredible.
Really?
So the board's going into that and then into the amp, right? So that's on all the stuff I played previous. That was the only effect that was on, was that reverb.
Yeah.
Right. And then the rest of the stuff is just I've always ended up with the same. I've got several pedal boards, but it's all really the same stuff, man. I end up with like 6 or 7 stages of gain over here, a volume pedal, and then I've got all the trail over here.
Yeah.
You know, instead of, like, I'm not one of those guys that could ever use like a 2-channel amp, clean and dirty. I have to have several incremental stages of gain, very light, because that's the kind of music we're playing around here. Like I start with a clean sound, and then each one of these is a very subtle increase in gain, like even the EQs.
Okay, let's, just for funsies, let's take it from clean to filthy and kind of talk about which one.
Yeah, well, you know, your basic clean sound. The amp's got a little bit of juice in it already.
Yeah.
But that verb is sick, right?
Wow.
So good.
Yeah, that is just beautiful, man.
So, like, you know, for like a real soft gain, like I'll just do side one of the Analog Man, King of Tone. I love this pedal too. The light speed, it's great. I'm a little bit out of tune, but there you go. So then my favorite pedal of all these pedals is the old Boss EQ.
Man, I've got that pedal. It's really noisy.
Well, you got to get them modded.
What's the mod?
Yeah, they just quiet them down. You can go in and get all the hiss out of them. Right?
Oh,
this one's actually is not even modded, but I've got a bunch that are. But here's why I love this pedal, right? Like I basically could get by with just this pedal, because it's like it's the best solo boost pedal of all time. Huh. Like if you just bump the mid-range and then goose the gain a little bit, and then you kick it on when you play a solo, the whole world knows you're playing a solo on a live gig.
Right.
It's got just the right amount. Like everyone's always asking, what's the best boost pedal or whatever? Boss EQ, $40 pedal, best boost pedal ever made. So like if you're just playing like, you know, a riff, right? When you're playing a 335 on a live gig, that extra mid-range bump, you just turn the guitar to the amp just a little bit. You get the perfect octave up, controllable feedback.
Oh, that's great.
And you bend, and just perfect octave up happens. Yeah. There it is. It's even there. And then that's how, you know, that's what's great about these, you know. And they've got so much gain. I mean, at unity gain at 5, this thing will crank like. But that's not all I use the Boss EQ for. I use it for a lot more than that. Like you can turn the neck pickup of a 335 or a Les Paul, which is usually a pretty woofy sound, instantly into a Gretsch by doing this. You know, cutting the 400 but boosting the bass and then boosting the top, right? Like, so here's a neck pickup of a, let me tune this thing. Okay, so here's like your normal neck pickup sound.
about what you're taking away, than what you're adding.
And then you can also do fun stuff like this, like this. Gas the mids all the way completely. Put a little bit of other distortion. Which is like amazing for certain parts.
Right.
You know, I love lo-fi, totally goosed EQs. Like that's why I have this pedal. This only have it set up only for that. So like it's just another parametric. It's a normal sound.
So what? I've never even seen that. That's the Ibanez what?
It's an old, you know, just an old EQ. I don't even know what
Ibanez
PQ9. But it's great for that lo-fi stuff. It's great. And then you got classic Nobles, which I've been using for 25 years. I mean,
let's hear that thing.
Yeah, I mean that's classic. I mean that's my all-time favorite overdrive pedal. There's no verb. This is just dry, right? Put a little slap on it, because it'll be awesome. No repeats. I'll just put the Boss EQ back in normal lead boost mode. Look at this. This is pretty awesome. Gas to 800 a little bit and put everything else pretty much flat, right? So you got, here's like normal Nobles. The way it fills out the sounds, it's great for leads. And this is another amazing pedal, the Son of Kong. You know, it's like Arthur Slopeman's pedal. This thing's incredible. It's like a really fancy sort of parametric EQ. You can get a great sound, and you can sort of dial in just the perfect amount of like open top end on it. Like it's like if I'm check this out. Beautiful, glistening, high end. This pedal will do all kind of stuff. It'll do crazy, like sort of Zappa-esque sort of distortions, but I just love the clarity that it adds, like an EQ.
You know, it's interesting. You don't really, with the exception of the EQ, you really don't hit the amp very hard volume-wise with any of these overdrives.
No, man. I mean, the Rat does, right? We've all.
Well, it's a Rat.
Yeah, I love Rats, you know, but.
Yeah.
Really particularly great Rat too. They're all different. I love this one. One of my all-time favorite pedals is the Dispatch Master. Amazing delay reverb combo, right?
Yeah.
You can turn the delay off with that.
Yeah, the earthquake. Okay, that's great. So that's covered the drives, and then we're getting into kind of the sparkly bits over here, the swirlies and the sparklies.
Yeah, I mean, you use the Pog, and everybody uses, and the Leslie.
Yeah, okay, let's hear, okay, so after your drives, you've got the Leslie, the Pog, the Dispatcher. Let's hear that Leslie, the Strymon Lex.
I like this particular Leslie box. I've tried every one of them. The reason I like that one the most is because it's the only one to me that sounds good at slow speed.
Oh.
They all sound good at fast speed, right? But they all sound weird at slow speed. Most of them. This one sounds really good at slow speed, I think. I mean, this is my opinion, but it's pretty good slow speed, and that's only in mono. I mean, if it was in stereo, it'd be way better. You can put a little preamp drive on that too.
That's killer.
Pretty good, right?
Yeah.
That's a good pedal.
Yeah.
And then obviously the old VB2.
Right. So is that one of the old ones?
Yeah, I love this pedal. Shake.
Yeah, they just reintroduced like a Waza version of that, Boston.
Yeah, these are awesome, man. Slow rates, high depth. In my humble opinion, the best delay pedal that money can buy, no matter what you spend, is the Strymon Brigadier. I mean, it's just for me personally. I mean, a lot of people have a lot of opinions about great delay pedals. I mean, I've goofed around with old Memory Mans and stuff, and I love old Memory Mans, but I'm done with them. They're more maintenance than a tape echo, you know?
God, I know, man.
And
and they're huge and they're buzzy.
I mean, they make noise and they're great sounding. I love them, but man, I'm done with them. Recently sold 3 of them to the same guy.
Really?
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Nuts.
I'm just done with them.
Yeah.
So, but this is an amazing pedal, and obviously the Line 6 is amazing.
Yeah. Okay. So delay wise, you've got the Strymon.
Yeah, I love the delays in the Line 6.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I love like these analog ones like this
now,
one.
there's like a mod a bunch of people are doing to the M9.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it?
Yeah, the Jack Vaughn thing. He goes in and puts, cleans up the audio signal a little bit. They're a little clearer when he gets done with them. They're great sounding.
Made a big difference.
Yeah, I love that. What's that delay? Great delay. It's got a little mod.
Now, do you primarily use this for the delay or just all the other
everything.
weird stuff?
Reverbs are great.
Yeah.
Chorus.
So you basically have these set on a few favorites for each and then flip through them like a
like this got a good rotary. The Pog's amazing. I particularly like to use the Pog for like only octave up. Like if you take everything off, right, and you take your dry signal down and you just use the +1 octave a little bit, and like put a bunch of effects and things like. But,
Right.
Pretty cool. And then, obviously, this is the best sounding guitar pedal ever made, in my humble opinion. This is like putting your guitar in IMAX.
Right.
But it's
the
a total
H9,
tweaker pedal. Like, I mean, I use the phone to control the Bluetooth.
Oh, the whole, the full nerd.
I don't even know what it's set on now. You can only get one sound at a time, but God, this thing is amazing. Let's see what it's doing right now.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Turn everything else off.
Okay.
I don't know what I was on, what kind of drugs I was on, but, you know, when I did that. But, you know, man, this thing is incredible. I mean, I've seen guys that have like 3 or 4 of those on the same pedal board, and I see why, because they're incredible. I mean, this is the best, literally, the most awesome sounding effect pedal I've ever heard in my life.
Wow.
That thing is incredible. No wonder they're so expensive, because they should be.
Yeah, yeah, right.
It's great.
Now, in the expression pedal, is that for the Line 6?
Yeah, that's for the Line 6, but I hardly ever use that.
Right.
I really rarely ever use that. I got a bunch of other pedals and things, like I've got a whole drawer full of old vintage pedals and things.
Swap in.
But yeah, swap in, you know. Like, you know, it's a great pedal. I'll tell you, no one knows about this, but this thing is mind-blowing. This French pedal called the Collision Devices Black Hole Symmetry. God, man.
Yeah, that one's under the radar, man.
This thing is so, it's like a...
Oh, yes, Collision Devices,
dude,
of course, the French one.
This is like a, you know that band Explosions in the Sky? That amazing
I
band?
don't.
This sounds like a finished Explosions in the Sky record in a box.
Reference I don't know, but I love the name. How can it be bad?
Yeah, the old original whammy pedal, and then, you know. Here's one more thing I'll mention.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that's it, Tom. You kind of have to have every flavor just in case, right?
These old Boss EQs, right?
Right.
Back when I had my music store, some guy brought one of these in. He wanted to sell, and I was like, oh yeah, just make sure it works. And I was goofing around with it, and I just happened to turn the level control all the way up. You know, because you're supposed to be unity gain at 5, and and I couldn't. I was like, God, that's like one of the coolest distortion sounds I've ever heard. It's got this amazing, like, it sounds like an old Aerosmith record, like the rhythm guitars.
Really?
So the distortion is amazing, even if you don't even use the EQ at all. And then I started looking around. I was like, man, this is cool. And I didn't know if it was just that guitar or amp I was using at the time. I started using it on everything, and it sounds amazing for distortion.
Yeah.
Right? So then I started researching, and guess who else used to use one of those for distortion? Eddie, in the early days.
Really, Van Halen?
Yeah.
Huh. Oh, man.
Is there any other Eddies?
Yeah, right. No.
yeah.
No, there's that
man.
one.
Yeah.
Cal, well, tell him that's so cool. And the only other one is that boost over there.
Yeah, man. Well, you know, the Mason Vertex this is a great idea, right? Like, instead of having to use an old school volume pedal, which always kills a lot of signal. I don't care who makes it. All these volume pedals, like the Ernie Balls. And,
is that the Dunlop?
yeah, this is an expression pedal, though. It's not. There's no audio going through it. The audio is coming from that box, right?
Really?
Yeah, he told me it was Mike Landau's idea, which it probably was. It's a great idea. So you use that as like just a regular old clean boost pedal, which is a good, really good boost. I'll show you.
Right.
Here's like. But then, even with the pedals on or off, it doesn't matter. It still functions. You plug the TRS cable into the expression port, and then just the volume pedal is always working on expression mode.
That is so clever. So
really
you
cool.
don't
You've
have
never seen
that.
one of these?
Well, I didn't know. I didn't know that they ran out like that.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I should also give a shout out to XTS, who made this pedal board.
Those guys are great.
They're the best.
Yeah.
Man.
Those nerds will chase down a...
Man, I mean, I don't know what I would do without Barry. Yeah. He's just a wizard. I constantly bring him all these horrible ideas, and he somehow makes them work. He's incredible.